I spent 100 days building one of the biggest bases on the server. And this is how I did it. And I am starting from scratch because this base looks bad. And I could do so much better. This is the video that gave me inspiration for the base, and I refuse to use a tutorial for it. And I also want to build this base, all because everybody and their moms are building castles. I have decided I did not want to start over this build since I am extremely lazy. So I imported this very poorly built base into Creative using a mod called Litematica. My plan is to build what I envision my base to look like here in Creative, so I can import a blueprint into the server to build it block for block. As you can see, this base was poorly built and rushed by none other than past streams. So that means all of this must be torn down in order for me to continue. It feels so good to have a clean slate, and I will not allow myself to make the same mistake as last time. Which is why I'm placing down this red wool to mark out the layout for my base. This will also help me determine the size of the build. And after I had all of the outline placed, I can start building it. And since watching somebody build in Creative is extremely boring, I'm just going to skip to the part where I actually finished my build and already have the material list, so I understand what I need to gather inside the server. Okay, here is the final material list, and holy crap, we need a lot of blackstone, and we need 39,000 blocks total to complete this build. Anyways, here's 100 days building a base. I also forgot to mention that this base's coordinates were exposed, which means it's going to get griefed. So I'm recycling resources from this base to hopefully save time, since gathering blackstone can be a huge pain. Anyways, I'll see you after I completed this. Okay, so there's been a change of plans. This is taking forever. And I realized that would actually be quicker to just go into the Nether and just mine all this blackstone. And you know, gathering 16,000 full blocks of blackstone would usually take a very long time, which was the thing that originally led me to pushing back the building of the space. But this time, I have some help. These guys were crazy enough to help me with this part of my project. Thank you guys for your service. This time I'm gonna actually use my brain cells and set up Haste Beacon. And not gonna lie, this took me like 30 minutes to make since I was being stupid the entire time I was building it. But anyways, now that we have a Haste Beacon, this process should be a lot less painful. Which means now it's finally time to start gathering all this blackstone. And these two have already done so much mining in the time span that I took to set up that Haste Beacon. But ignoring that, now it's time to strip this withered abyss of all its blackstone. This took a really long time, but it's actually done. And I'll be honest, more people actually helped with this while I was offline, so this wouldn't be possible without them. Their help is very much appreciated. I'm back at an old base of mine to look for materials. What? Excuse me, what happened? How did I die from that? Well, we still need a lot of materials to build a space, which is why I came here to, borrow the materials from here. They may or may not be returned, no promises. But we need almost 6,000 concrete. And I already have some on hand, but this is nowhere near enough. So I'm hoping that this space will have some gravel or sand that I can simply borrow from them. Just so I can, you know, shorten the entire process of building this base. Sadly, that base had no sand or gravel, which means I have to do the unthinkable and actually dig gravel and sand by hand. Who has time for that? Not like I have a life anyways. Ignoring my breakdown, we have a cold desert which has tons of gravel. And luckily this shouldn't take too long since I have an efficiency 5 spoon. Oh my gosh, my spoon will be in pain after this. And with that, this should be all the gravel I will ever need, which means it's now time to gather some sand. This desert is gonna be in so much pain after I'm done with it. Now I have all the supplies I need for this, which means I can now convert it all into white concrete. And fortunately, I have access to tons of white dye, which means that this won't take that long. This backpack needs to be full of concrete, and I am pretty sure that I have enough gravel and sand for this. I'm not making any promises though. I will see you guys after this is all crafted. And this should be all the concrete I will ever need for this base. This may actually be enough. But now it's time for the most important part of my base. I need a place to build it, since I have pretty much all the materials I need to get a good head start on the base. So here I am on my future lawn. And the terrain is very uneven, and I need to be able to build a huge base on it, which means everything needs to be flattened out, which is why I'm using a water bucket to flatten out all the grass on the terrain, since grass can make it very hard to terraform an area of land. Once this is done, we should have one of the most gorgeous lawns ever. This will take a very long time, and I obviously can't show this entire process in this video or else it'll be like 5 hours long. So, it's montage time. I think I just found myself a friend to keep me company while building this lawn. And crows are actually pretty helpful because they can pick up blocks and organize them for you in chests, which will help me a lot for this. I think my friend is abandoning me. Goodbye, friend. Okay, my lawn is now finished. And what better way to show it off than to put 2 of the most beautiful dragons on the server on it? Like seriously, what better armor to put on dragons than lightning steel? Like purple looks amazing. And these 2 being on my lawn honestly just adds a ton of beauty to it. And I think everybody here sitting on my lawn can agree that this is the best lawn they have ever seen. Okay, enough admiring my lawn. It's now time to get to business. Base building business. But in order to do that, I need a haste beacon. Which, of course, I'm going to be building a double beacon for this, since double beacons are really cool. Since you can have both speed and haste all in one beacon. And now that we have this, I can now actually build something on my gorgeous lawn. And using a light Maca schematic I created while in creative, I can actually build the platform again block for block. Again, this is going to take a while, so what better way to show the building process than by showing a montage? And with that, my platform is pretty much finished. All I need to do is place these last few blocks, and beautiful. It just looks so great from above. And Ace looks so tiny compared to my platform, oh my gosh. This is honestly giving me so much deja vu. But now we're stepping away from the deja vu because now I actually get to detail my platform for the first time ever. Because I am taking this base step by step, unlike my other one that looked pretty bad. I am going to start by placing the trapdoor walls around my base, which means I have to chop down a bunch of cherry wood trees. And these materials are much easier to gather than the black stone and the concrete because I don't really need that much of it, and I can actually farm it all directly at my base. And this was my life for a little bit. But now we had a new problem. Concrete. Because all this concrete powder needs to be actual concrete in order for it all to be registered by Litematica. Because heck no am I placing these blocks the normal way. And to be honest with you, this entire process of converting all 6,000 concrete is probably what took the longest out of the 100 days. Because I was just sitting here, holding right click, placing concrete, and watching it fall all the way to the ground. And then once that's done, I have to pour water on top of it and then mine straight down. And honestly, I'm so proud of what I named this concrete converter. Like, this is the most creative name ever. And here it is, the beauty of Litematica. I just have to hold right click and everything will place very annoyingly wrong. And I have to just continue breaking and replacing these blocks every time this happens, which led me to just move on to the roof, which was so much fun to build because this just felt so illegal. Like, I almost forgot I was playing Minecraft Java Edition for a second because this is bedrock building mechanics. And I could just god bridge all day long building this amazing looking roof. And in pretty much the span of 30 minutes, I placed down most of my blackstone. But I did kind of look like a psychopath while building it, but that's okay. Oh yeah, remember the concrete converter from earlier? Well, we're back to doing that because I ran out of concrete while building the base. So it's time for more AFKing on the top of a concrete tower. And from this point on, the building became pretty repetitive. And I am not going to force anybody to sit through that, so here's an epic montage instead. And now I am proud to present to you the 100 Days base. While we're here, I might as well just show you guys what I am using this huge base for. And yeah, the interior is not anywhere near being finished because I am lazy and have no idea what to do for it. This is the only room in the base that has sort of an interior. And if you couldn't tell, it's my bedroom. I am now no longer homeless. And back down this janky staircase and into this room that is empty and I have no idea what to put in it because I cannot plan this far ahead. But this will someday be finished. And through this corridor onto one of the sides of my base, there is a circular cutout for a spiral staircase that will lead down to the basement. And on the mirrored side of my base, I have a dragon hatchery room instead of a staircase. And this area is for the stables, and on the opposite side of my base, it's a storage room. And spoiler alert, none of them have interiors yet. This interior isn't even close to being finished. And up here, we have an area for amphitheaters and hippogriffs. There isn't really much else to show on the inside since the interior is all unfinished. But this over here is my landing pad, which is used for dragons to take off and land, without damaging any of my base. I kind of based it off of my old base's landing pad because it was an iconic part of it. But anyways, this was 100 days building a mega base. in a modded SMP. And this would not be possible without the help I got along the way. So thank you to everybody who helped me with this, and I will see you next time.